Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how I do my contour and highlight routine. I've gotten quite a few requests to do a video like this, so here we go. Starting with bronzers, I picked a few of my favorite ones. The first one is NARS Laguna bronzer, which is just this really nice medium brown color, and it does have some flecks of gold in it, which is really nice because it gives it kind of a more summery, healthy glow. Normally I like my contour colors matte, but this one I do like. Next one is the Hoola bronzer by Benefit. This is probably my all-time favorite bronzer. Doesn't look too dark, but when you get it on your skin, it's just the perfect shade, and it's awesome because it comes with this little brush, which is great for sculpting out the cheekbones or just contouring in general. And then the last one is my Anastasia contour kit, and I'm absolutely in love with this. It's amazing. It comes with these 3 contour shades right here, and today I'm going to be using this middle one on the bottom. Then for my contouring tools, I like to use a couple different ones. These were just 2 of the ones sitting in front of me today. The first one being the Hoola bronzer, the little brush that comes with the Hoola bronzer. Like I was saying before, it is great for really sculpting out the cheekbones because it has the straight, flat edges, and you can really just carve out your features. And then recently I've really been loving using my stippling brush for my contour. It's not made for contouring obviously, but it is just super easy to blend everything out, and it just gives more of a airbrushed finish, I feel, which I really like. So been loving this brush, and that is what I'm going to be using today. So I'm going to start by just taking my bronzer and my brush and dipping it in there, and then you want to find your cheekbones, so the hollow of your cheeks. If you don't know where that is, you can go from the top of your ear and angle it down to your mouth. It's going to be right in there. You can do the fishy lips like this, a lot of people do, or you can take your makeup brush and just roll it down on your cheekbone, and when it bends in, you can feel it drop into that hollow of your cheek, and that's where you want it to go. So I try to use the edge of my brush when I'm using my dual fiber brush or my stippling brush here. I use the edge of it to kind of create that line right in the hollows of my cheeks, so that it can really stand out. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like with my Hoola brush too, because if you're wondering how I contour with that, I just put it on there, and like I said, the straight edge of this makes it so easy. You put it right in the hollows of your cheeks, and then you just kind of wiggle it up and down to blend everything out. It's super nice. But back to this brush, I'm just going to really define the line there, making sure you're blending back into your hairline so that you don't have just a line and then a gap. And then I do some circular motions to really blend everything out really well. And you want to go about to the outer part of your eye. You don't want to go in closer than that. You want to keep it on the back edge of your cheek. If you get into this area here, it does not look natural, and you start looking kind of weird, and so I like to suggest to keep it right behind that edge of your eye where your eye starts there. Like you can see, again, I'm just buffing it out because you do not want there just to be a harsh line in the middle of your face. You want it to look natural, so you want to start off with that line to really give definition to your cheekbones, but then you want to blend it out so that it just looks natural, like a natural indent in your face. And normally I start my contour and highlight with highlighting first. So right here you'll see me realize that I forgot to highlight first, and I was just too excited to film this video, I guess. So don't worry, we're just gonna go back a step and start highlighting. So for my highlighters, my top 2, one is drugstore and one is high-end. My drugstore one, I like my Maybelline Age Rewind. A lot of people use this. It's really nice, really easy to blend out. And then my high-end is my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. They're both really amazing, but today I'm going to use my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. And so I start by just putting a triangle pretty much underneath my eyes to brighten this up, and then I also apply it just down the center of my face. a little on my chin, my cupid's bow area, and I add it right under my nose just to help conceal a little more redness because I get really red under my nose. And then I also apply it just in the center of my forehead and down the center of my nose as well. Then at this point you should be looking pretty fierce or weird or whatever. And so now it is time to blend that highlight out. So I like to use either my Beauty Blender or my Sigma F80 Kabuki brush. This is the brush that I use to apply my foundation, and it does a great job at blending everything out. So as you can see, I am just pressing the concealer into my skin. I'm not rubbing it around or swiping it at all because I want it to stay where I put it, but I want to blend it out. So I just do this patting motion, and then again, same thing with the underneath my eyes. I like to start with the center of my face normally. I don't know why, it's just a preference thing. And then I like to go under my eyes, and then with this I like to bring it back and blend it back to my hairline. You don't want to leave it just under your eyes. You want to bring it back and blend it up. This is really going to help lift the face. To blend out my nose, I like to just use my finger. I find the warmth of my finger just really helps to blend it in the best, and if I use a brush sometimes I feel like it can get streaky and I have a hard time blending it in, so I just like to use my finger. Then I'm going to go back in and set all of that with my banana powder here. It's super important to go back and set everything you just did with the concealer, just because especially underneath your eyes you radiate a lot of heat, and that can cause your concealer to move or crease, and so setting this with a powder will help prevent that. And also using a brighter powder like this will just add to the highlight. So then this is the part where I would start contouring. So let's go back to what I was showing you before. Like I said, you create the line, and then I like to just buff it out with my stippling brush. And then I also like to contour the sides of my forehead just to make that look a little smaller. So I just do the sides here, making sure to blend back into the hairline. You don't want a gap between the two. You want it to look as natural as possible. And then right here, this little bit between the contour on my forehead and cheek, you want to just make sure that you kind of blend that together too, so you don't have a gap. I try to keep that more towards the hairline as well, and then I just bring whatever extra to the top middle part of my forehead to kind of shorten it as well. And I also like to apply it just under my lip here. It makes the appearance of a fuller lip, or a poutier lip there. And then for my nose, I like to use the edge of this brush just to contour the very sides. This is going to make your nose look smaller and slimmer. That's the whole point of contouring in general, is whatever you want to make look smaller or pushed back, you contour, and whatever you want to highlight, you bring forward. So again here, now I'm just blending out my nose very lightly, because you do not want just two lines on each side of your nose. It just does not look natural. So you want to make sure everything is blended. You don't want any lines anywhere. And then I just add a little on the end of my nose as well. Then you do not want to forget your jawline. This is really just going to help sculpt out your jaw and make your face look slimmer and more chiseled, I guess. It also helps disguise if you have any double chins or anything. It just really helps define that jawline. And as always, you want to make sure that is blended out too, so I like to just make sure to drag some down my neck. And then I'm going to go back in with the banana powder and just highlight right here. This step is optional. It just really defines and brings out that cheek contour a little more, and it also helps if you went down a little too far with your contour. It can bring it back up and fix any mistake, because you don't want to bring that contour down too low, because that will drag your face down and it will defeat the whole purpose of contouring. So a little recap to kind of remember where to contour. If you make a 3 on your face, you'll get the forehead, the cheekbone, and the jawline, and then also the center of your nose and under your lip. And that's pretty much it for my contour and highlight placement. You want to keep the center of your face the brightest, and then anything that you contour is going to be pushed back or made smaller. And now I'm going to go and show you where I place my blush and highlighter. So again, I went and picked out two of my favorite blushes. The first one is this very pretty pink blush. It's literally the perfect pink if you were going with a pink blush. And then my next one is my drugstore pick, and this is Milani's Luminoso, and it's kind of like a corally blush, and that's what I'm going to use today. You want to put this right on the apples of your cheeks, so if you smile, you can see they kind of pucker out, kind of look weird smiling at yourself, but that is where you want to place it. So just give a little smile, and then I like to personally just kind of pat it on my cheeks. I don't like to just do a swipe back because you can get a line that way and then it doesn't look natural. So this just really gives you that nice glow. And you want to place this right above your bronzer. So that your bronzer was there, and then your blush, you're going to kind of angle up but blend with it. So you don't want to go right over your bronzer, but you want to just meet it and marry the two together, if that makes sense. So you want to kind of angle it up. That will also add to the lifting of the face, and then just make sure that you're blended in with the contour as well. And then for my highlighter, this is my favorite one that I own. It is my Mineralized Skin Finish in Soft and Gentle, and it's by MAC. I like to use it on this fluffier brush. Just tap it in there a little. A little bit goes a long way with this stuff. You don't need a whole lot. And then I just like to apply it right on the tops of my cheekbones here. That's where the sun is going to hit your face and reflect the most light off. And it's really going to lift your face, if that makes sense. Just make it appear like your cheekbones are higher, and it's also going to give the appearance of more luminous, healthy looking skin. So like I said, I like to apply it right on the tops of my cheekbones, on my cupid's bow here, a little bit down the center of my nose, and on my chin as well. I used to put it in the center of my forehead too, but I found that in pictures it kind of almost looked oily looking, so I don't do that anymore, but you totally can if you want. It's all personal preference. And that is everything for my highlight and contour routine. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this and learned some tips and tricks on how to contour your own face. Don't forget to check the description box below for more information and tips on how to contour. I'll leave those below. And give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful at all, and subscribe if you haven't already for more videos from me. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you in my next video. Bye guys. You're over my head, out of my mind, thinking I was born in the wrong time. Slave on rewind, everything's so throwback-ish. Baby, you're so classic. Baby, you're so classic.